Welcome to Soccer as We Like It, the Man United Direction, the channel for United and football fans, the biggest and best fan in the United States. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Today we are talking about us on our Sunday podcast about the post-match between Manchester United and Chelsea. Joining us today, the analyst from UK, Vim, and
Sienna.
his lovely Sienna. Sienna, welcome to the show, both of you.
Hey Tim, how you doing?
No, man, no, I'm all right, mate. Let me see who else has joined. Okay, Kay is joining us.
Hey. Go.
Right.
What did you think of the
We are gonna
game?
try and make this in under an hour today. Try and do 45
Yeah,
minutes. I'm gonna set my watch, my
yeah,
stopwatch, and knock it out because it's already late for you guys. Right. Manchester United won, Chelsea won. Everyone expected a bounce, manager bounce, an uplift, a zest, a panache, something spectacular today, but actually it kind of was just like a little damp squid. Joining us also from the UK is Kay, Mr. Smiley. Kay, he should be smiling today because new manager, there must probably be something he saw in the game. We'll just have to wait and see. So I'm going to start with Kay.
Yeah.
Man United won, Chelsea won, not the bounce everyone expected. Chelsea won not exactly firing today, but United still could not finish.
Yeah.
Your take on it, mate.
Um, yeah, I'm not shocked to that. It's not something that's gonna change overnight. The players are low on confidence. They're not creating enough. Um, we've not really got enough goal scorers in the team. That's a big issue.
Right.
But I thought it was a good performance, as good as it could be. Like Chelsea, like I said in the group, we've only lost to City and Liverpool. So for us to not get battered or like outplayed by them was, I think it was a sign of steadying the ship. But at the moment, we just need to steady the ship, build
Mm.
confidence, and then go from there. I think too many fans expect
They
a,
expected the
ma-
new
a
manager
massive.
bounce. Yes, it's not Ruben
Yeah,
Amorim. They
doesn't always
expected.
happen. Yeah, and it doesn't always happen. And new manager bounce, a lot of the times we've had new manager bounce, it's happened. I think we've had a better team, a better squad of players. I think,
Good.
like, well, in terms of attack anyway, when we've had our new manager bounces, we've had goal scorers in our teams, whereas this time we haven't really got potent goal scorers. So when you've got a bounce, you can rely on those goal scorers. At the moment, psh, like we're just we'll be lucky if we score more than two or three goals.
Right.
Although we scored more than that on Wednesday, but yeah, I just think a few fans are expecting
Yes,
what
and new
always
fans were
happens.
expecting. I mean, because
Yeah.
I spoke to a lot of Manchester United fans and the Houston Red Army fans. They were expecting goals galore. They were expecting 3 or 4 goals today. They were
But for Man
expecting,
United,
yes, because they thought, okay, they sacked Eric Ten Hag because we can't score. We banished right, we still can't score. Is it not the players? Let me bring in Vim here. Vim, today's game. What did you see? Did you see an improvement? Did you see what did you see in that game today?
I I saw players playing for the coach, and that's all players. And it was pretty evident to me who stopped playing for Ten Hag. So I think the biggest culprits were Casemiro and Rashford. They
Yeah.
they look like they've been freed from the previous regime, which was probably just overbearing and over controlling.
Mm.
Rashford is chasing back and he's trying to tackle. And Casemiro, obviously, we saw in the Leicester game and today that he's really trying and he's having a go at players. You know, he's showing his leadership. So it's pretty obvious to me that some of the senior players through ten stopped playing for Ten Hag, and and yes, I know it sounds bad that they throw people under the bus, but if you don't like a particular regime that you're in, you are not going to be motivated to play. And I think, Rashford was, I think it was pretty awful for one whole season. Casemiro, I always suspected, and if you go back to previous recordings of our show, I always said that that tackle from Casemiro looked suspicious. Like he would either go in late or he would allow the others to have the ball. Like he wouldn't win he wouldn't win headers. He wouldn't make it to the first ball. He almost allowed others to have it, and
Right.
sometimes it resulted in a goal. And I always found those tackles a little bit suspicious, and the lack of tracking from Rashford. So it was pretty obvious those two really had it for Ten Hag.
Right.
And I don't know if you read the article as well from ESPN. It showed basically unpacked pretty much the past year or two with Ten Hag and how bad he was as a coach,
Did
how
you post the
strict he
article
was.
in our fan chat?
Richard actually posted it, so I
Okay,
can
I'll check it.
reshare it. But I've shared it with a few people, and it's
Okay,
it's pretty
it's in
shocking.
WhatsApp chat, right? The WhatsApp group.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll read
It is there. Kay, did you read it? The ESPN article.
Oh, no, I've not read it.
You need to read this.
Okay.
I'll reshare it. Look,
send
Richard's coming on now.
Did you send it like in the last couple of days? Or?
No, Richard, look, great timing. That ESPN article that you shared, I was just telling the guys about it, and it revealed everything about Ten Hag and his methods. He was pretty awful.
Richard, go a bit to the right.
Yeah.
To your right. So you're more centered. There you go. There you go, Richard. Nice to see you. Looking very nice. Love that cardigan you got rocking there, mate. Red, white,
Cardi
and black.
Like Roy Keane, Cardi B.
Sorry, Tim. Sorry for the late one. I was just in the middle of a project.
No, we literally just started 2 minutes now. We've only just started. Okay. But I appreciate you coming on, and I know it's late in London. I appreciate you. Welcome to the show. Welcome, Mr. Strict, aka Richard. He was not the biggest Eric Ten Hag fan, not the biggest Ineos fan, and he would have something to say in reference to how we are today. Ben, finish off your situation in reference to, you are referring to Richard's ESPN article.
Yeah. Go on, Vim. Yeah, go on.
You want me to talk about it? Because I think you shared it. It was one of the best articles I've read on Ten Hag's tenure. One of the best ones.
Okay, so Richard, talk us through what happened.
Yeah, it was very damning. It just basically gave a rundown as to how he managed the players behind the scenes. I think the key takeaway, and we've all been discussing this for the past year or so, was that he was very cold. He didn't know how to, I would say, connect to the players, especially the bigger ones. I think his methods at times was quite harsh, how he treated some players. And I also didn't like how his agency, SEG, was really involved in a lot of his transfers.
Right.
He had a lot of control. He had a lot of power when it came to transfers, and most of the transfers that he's brought in have been duds. So I'm completely glad he's gone. He got to
right. Of course, we were on the show last Sunday. No one saw this coming. We were all upset about the VAR, lack of finishing, and Monday morning they just goodbye, good night on your bike, mate.
Yeah, no, well deserved. He deserved to go. But look, the game today we saw the same old problems. Not enough cutting edge up front, so I think that's going to take some time to fix. Look, as Ben said in the group, it's not all on Ten Hag, right? I think
it's not all. I don't agree it's on him, man. I think it's the players got to be held accountable, mate.
But can I ask though?
To a degree, but then when you look at the statistics, the raw stats, 14th in the league. Under Ten Hag, 2 seasons in a row, we was negative. We were on negative goal difference, so that's not acceptable for any coaching.
No,
right? So,
no.
Yeah,
so today's game against Chelsea, did you see any improvements? I mean, be honest. Did you see anything different?
There were certain patterns of play that were good. I think there was a passage of play where we had we strung quite a few passes together before Ahmad shot at the keeper. But overall, I still think our attack is quite blunt. We're lacking a lot of we're lacking in key decision making. So there was a point where Garnacho had the opportunity to pass the ball to some better options, and he squandered it. And I saw that quite a lot in the attacking phase of play. I haven't got a problem with the defense, but the attack I'm still a bit concerned about. And Xerxes, he's got a lot of technical ability, but he looks short on confidence, and I'm not sure
he does.
at this stage if he'll make it or not in the Premier League. But only time
I don't think so. He's struggling at the moment.
Yeah, he's really struggling.
Hmm. Okay, you said today's game, you saw a bit of a difference. I personally, you know, what I always say this, goals win games. Goals make
Yeah.
the whole difference between winning and losing. Well, yes, we
Mm.
did not lose today, but it was the same problem we had from last week, the week before. We were creating more, but we can't finish. Garnacho had the one Bruno cut back to him that he did a soft shot, should have blasted it, placed it. The one he had that he side volleyed it, just a bit well worked, and you start to wonder like, is then the one that put on the plate for Rashford, he skied it. The Bruno, same thing. So like, you can't keep doing this week in, week out. We can't. We just cannot. Because we're not going to go far. And everyone's going to be Leicester City every weekend. This is the Premier League. You don't score, you don't win. End of story. So what can we do to finish? Why can't we finish? What are we lacking? Let me go to Vim in this. What are we lacking that we cannot put the ball in the net?
What we're lacking is form and confidence. If you play under a regime for 2.5 years and the regime is kind of restricting you, it's stifling you. I think it's it eventually it's going to wear the players down. It's going to wear the morale down, which it has. The way Ten Hag has been treating players, and this is in the article about how he treated Ronaldo and how he treated Sancho. The team, even the coaches, thought that Ten Hag went over the top in terms of his reprimanding. The way he isolated, the way he treated Ronaldo,
I didn't
five-time
know he told
Ballon
Ronaldo
d'Or.
not to come to the dressing room at times.
He was banned from the dressing room.
Whoa,
He wasn't
I never
even
knew that.
allowed to enter and get his pair of shoes. He had to send one of the trainees to get it.
That's
So when he
unacceptable.
tried to enter the dressing room, he had staff there saying, "No, you're not allowed." It's total humiliation for someone who's a 5-time Ballon d'Or. That is an idiot
And
like
has
Ten Hag treats someone like that.
Trophies for this club.
Exactly, he treats a superstar like that. And
I never knew that.
And this is way before he refused to come on for Tottenham. He was mistreated and marginalised much earlier on than that. And the crunch point was when he refused to come on for that Tottenham game for the last minute. There's total humiliation again and again and again. If Ten Hag does that to anyone, you're going to get the daggers out for him. It is totally disrespectful to treat anyone like that.
Wow.
And we forget that Ronaldo lost his child that year as well.
Yeah, I never knew all of this. I only knew about him not wanting to come on after this. I didn't know he was, that's childish. Why would you just come on, man?
It's just what the article shows is that he's far too controlling. He wants to control absolutely everything. He has spent millions of pounds reorganizing. Is it one of the analysis rooms where he made tiered levels and a screen, and he put all the defenders on his left and midfielders on his right and the strikers on his right. It's almost like when you become OCD about certain things.
Right.
He was far too controlling of everything. He didn't allow Steve McLaren to address the press. He didn't allow anyone else to address the press. He said it all should come from him, and it was just the same rinse and repeat bullshit about the process.
He's gone now.
Yeah, but
he's done.
It's very stifling. You can't expect people to flourish in a system like that, in an environment like that.
True.
There is a bad environment at the club, and he also is responsible for it. He created that bad environment.
Very correct.
So people say it's wider issues at the club, but he's part of those wider issues.
Yeah.
In fact, he's front and center. Anyway, I think it's definitely good that they let him go, but they took their time about it. And it cost him an extra 7.5 million by extending his contract for 1 year. So Innes will have to pay for that mistake by extending his contract.
So with the game to that 1-1, we're not being able to finish. Okay, Rudy's interim. He's gonna. We have Leicester City next Sunday. I think it's not next Sunday. Then after Leicester game, that's international break the following weekend, isn't it? Or is it the week after that one? Because we have one more international break coming up. I need to see. I think after international break, Amarin takes over against Ipswich Town.
So the next game is on the 7th of November against Pawok FC.
Yeah.
You got Europa football this week?
Europa League on the 7th. So that's in 4
Okay.
days' time. And then we've got 10th of November, Leicester City at home.
Mm.
So,
Okay.
yeah, Thursday and
So
Sunday.
Ruud van Nistelrooy is going to manage those 2 games.
2 more games.
Yes, he is, yeah.
Okay. Then after the Leicester game, the following weekend, international break, right?
Then it's our guy, Ruben.
Okay. All right.
Looking forward to that.
What do you think Ruben can do differently? Same players. Richard, what do you think? Let me go with Richard. Then I'll come back to the UK. What can Amorim do with this same squad? Because he's not going to buy anyone new.
I think, well, what I'm hoping that he does is he implements a style of play, and he doesn't need, what's the word? He doesn't go back on his style of play like Ten Hag did. You know, when he said he doesn't like the players at Ajax. You know, Ruben Amorim has to stick to his principles, because I think that was one of Ten Hag's biggest weaknesses. You know, going back on that traditional Ajax style of football that we brought him in to play. I think he'll be a good coach. There was a few people in this group. I know Kenneth, who's just joined. He mentioned Amorim. I've mentioned Amorim in other groups as a wild card, so I'm happy at the appointment. But I think
how good are Sporting Lisbon currently? Are they flying? Are they
top of the table?
Oh, yeah.
Top of the table.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're scoring a lot of goals. They hardly concede. His teams play a very high line up the pitch. You know, so it'll be interesting to see how that works in the Premier League. But
it is a different beast.
It's a different beast, but he has performed fairly well against Premier League opposition in the Champions League. And he's won the league he delivered the league title in Portugal for the first time in, I think it was 19 or 20 years.
19 years.
Yeah, Sporting Lisbon. So his brand of football is phenomenal. So I just hope that he carries that brand of football over to United, and he gets rid of the wasters. You know, players like Rashford, Luke Shaw, all these guys who've been in previous regimes where managers have been sacked. I think he needs to get rid of them first, because they're the ones that need to be made an example of, because these players have seen failure after failure after failure. So I think we should just move them on. And then when he gets the opportunity in the summer, he should bring in these players, hopefully in January. I think we need the striker, definitely, because we need to score goals, more importantly. We don't.
So you don't think he could make Xerxes and Højlund score a bit more goals? No.
Oh, hopefully he can. Hopefully we can create more chances. But Højlund and Xerxes, I don't know.
At least Højlund tries. Xerxes, I just don't know where to put Lacey, mate.
Yeah, the thing about Xerxes, right? Xerxes got the technical ability, but he doesn't have the confidence, and I can't see him scoring more than 10 goals in a season.
I can't see him getting 5 back the way he's going, mate.
If you drop him into number 10, maybe he'll perform better. But I just don't see any goal threat with that guy. Maybe he's a flashier version of Vegolos or whatever he was called. But I'm not seeing any.
At least that guy put himself about. He put himself about.
Yeah. But I'm not seeing. I'm not seeing somebody who can score goals.
I can't.
So, but Højlund, I think. I'm not a big fan of him because he's got low technical ability. But if you can kind of make him a little bit like that Gyökeres, what's his name, the Swedish striker, he used to play for Coventry, now is really performing well for Sporting. If you can replicate that type of model with Højlund, I think Højlund can have a decent season. But with Xerxes, I don't know. He's got some Martial vibes about him.
Martial was very skillful.
Yeah, Martial was skillful and he was fast. At least he was quick.
He could run.
But
Xerxes is not fast. Did you see him today?
You saw him today. He had no ability to run through. I don't know what happened.
Martial was clever though. Martial had a football IQ. Xerxes got more than Højlund's just a poor man's Lukaku for me. He's a poor man's
Lukaku. I think he looks like he's raw. That he could be.
Nah, not even raw. He's not a goal scorer. He's not a goal scorer. He's a fox in the box. He's not someone that you go, give him 4 chances, he'll score 2. He might score 1 in 4. Like if you look at the stats of all our strikers, none of them score double figures, apart from Rashford in the odd season. So that's the big problem. Ten Hag messed up when he didn't buy a striker. That was his biggest downfall.
But he wanted Kane, but the board didn't want to
We
give
all
him
know we
Kane,
weren't going to
and they
get
gave
never
him
gonna
they
sell
gave him
it, just
They were
Rasmus.
never going to sell him.
They gave him
sell
Rasmus.
Kane.
Right, let
Yeah.
me
He
bring
should
in
have gone for other people. He should have gone for
Mr. Let me introduce Mr. Fortress Ken. Every Ten Hag is out. I know you. I
Hi
said you.
guys.
I just pictured you and Kay doing the kid and play dance when you heard the news. I sent the video.
I couldn't believe it. You know when you expect things to happen and it doesn't happen then. So when it happened,
You
I
and
was
Kay must
like,
have been doing a
what?
40-day plus for that one time.
I didn't even celebrate when he got sacked. I was just.
I said
I'm
when I
glad
heard the
he-
news, I said my mind went Kay and Ken. Wow. Right. Kid and play. Let me find the clip of kid and play. Doing that down the kick leg, the leg click. I just said,
Yeah, I remember you sent it. Yeah,
right. No, we
yeah,
didn't see
it
that
had to
coming. No
happen.
one saw it coming. No one saw
Yeah,
that
yeah,
coming.
it had to happen, and you have to give credit to Ineos. Because normally when a manager is sacked, and we're
There's
talking
a
about
speculation
clubs,
of 10 other
yeah,
managers. They just went,
yeah, yeah, they just went. It's like, and I like what they said to Amorim. Doing like, look, this is a chance in a lifetime, yeah, opportunity, or once in a lifetime opportunity. Sorry, you either take it now or you forfeit it. So he was because Amorim wanted to wait till the summer, but they said, look, you have to take it now. If you don't take it now, it's
they
gone.
coming
And
back.
yeah, and when he goes, you may not get it back. That's United job is probably one of the best jobs. I know it's one of the hardest, but it's also the most
I think it is the hard. That and the
prestigious
Real
jobs
Madrid
that you
job.
can have. Yeah, you know, um, doesn't come along. So yeah, I think Amorim will be a different kettle. I think only
How
because I
much
know that
time
he'll.
does he need? I'm going to ask all of
Well,
you. How much time does he need to start? Because we are 13th in the
mm,
table. We got a point today. We got Leicester next weekend. Then after that, there's a international break. Then Ipswich Town is when Amorim steps in.
yeah.
What how much time does he need to transform these guys who can't seem to put the ball in there?
Well, the good thing is that he has a reputation of changing things rapidly.
Okay.
He has a rep. I know it's Portuguese. It's the Portuguese league, but
Premier
his
League
reputation
is a
is that
beast.
when he comes in, it almost instantly see positive changes. Brought the title to Sporting after 19 years, so
Okay.
that's not a mean feat. So I just like the fact that he will play a different type of system. I'm tired of this 4-3-3, 4-2-1-4
Is it the
Christmas tree
personnel or
formation.
is it we could
I think I
again?
think we need to try a different system. Let's see. I think that 3-4-3 potentially could work. I'm not saying it
Three,
will, but
four,
let's
three.
just see. Yeah, that's his style. Let's see how that works.
Hmm.
We just need to be able to have control in midfield. You saw, like Richard was saying in the WhatsApp group, Bruno is back to his um, grenade when he thinks the football is a grenade when you have to get rid of it.
Hmm.
So we need to start seeing some patterns in midfield, like passing the ball a few times. Chelsea, yes, Chelsea, they were the
They were
better
not
side
great. They were not great.
in
We
the
know we
first half, but
signed
you could
Palmer
see,
and yeah.
yeah, but in the first half, you could see they had a pattern of play. There was a time when they just passed the ball around us in midfield, and
Mm-hmm.
then we were like, whoa, yeah. And then what's his name? Cole Palmer was through, and I think someone
Dallo
blocked.
brought one
Yeah,
of the guys down. They
yeah,
did that
yeah.
one touch. It was gone.
Yeah. That we've never seen that under Ten Hag. I don't think we've ever seen even the previous match. Very rarely we see that. Those are the type of patterns we need to start seeing more consistently. So
Right.
let's see how it goes. Yeah.
Vim, with Amarin playing 3-4-3. With what we have, you know who we have in the team. Can these guys adapt to this? Because sometimes you might have a formula and a system, but are these guys wise, open enough, or they are too thick to comprehend basic, new, simple instructions? Quickly talk to me.
I think it's going to take some time to take out the rot of the previous regime. So they're going to need some time. But I think he's going to get the team playing with some purpose now. Like one of the things that was discovered is that a lot of the players under the previous regime, they were confused about what their role was. And one thing that was kind of striking to me is that when we lost Bruno to a red card in that game. I can't remember who it was. The team didn't have any instructions on how to set up in the second half with a 10-man team.
Right.
And that has to come from the manager. That has to come
Right.
from the head coach.
Definitely.
What do we do now that we're a key player down, especially the most creative player? What do we do now? How are we going to go for an all-out attack? Are we going to sit back and defend? They didn't know what they were doing, and that's why the team just completely fell apart. I think Ruben has been identified as being a great communicator. He handles the media well. He communicates well with his players, and he gets everyone on side. He's like a real man manager. Ten Hag is not a man manager. He doesn't put his arm around people. The players don't love him. He doesn't care about the players. He most treats them as robots. He punishes them with running when they lose a game, more and more running, and then they get tired prior to game, and they fatigue sets in. It was just a completely disastrous system. Ruben is not like that. He's about getting the players on side. He's about working individually with players and getting the best out of them. He maximizes player development. He finds a role for everyone in the team, and he focuses on a clear vision and style of play. He's got his basic system is 3-4-3, but he's in and out of possession. He's changing it. He changes it to 4-2-2. 4-4-2
within the game.
Yeah, okay. Within the game, and the players know at what point they should be changing formation. So it's not a 3-4-3 always.
Let's hope these guys understand it, because I think some of these guys are a bit thick, like thicker than two planks. Seriously, they're just
but it's going to take
like they don't know what they're doing now. I mean,
but because it was a haphazard style of coaching. With new patterns that they're going to start practicing. Right. One thing I've seen as well, I was watching some tactics videos on Ruben, and what he does is that he almost creates a column down the center of the pitch. So you've got your back four, and then you've got 2-2-2. And what they do, they kind of bring the players close together like a vertical column, and they are just doing one-touch passing in between and confusing the opposition. And then when they find and create the space, they suck all the players into the center, and then they suddenly go wide with the fullbacks. So the back four would hold back, take all the players down the center. Tell me if I'm losing you, if it doesn't make any sense.
Oh, man.
4-2-2-2. Suck all the players into the middle, then keep massive spaces on the side. Once the players are all sucked in, they bomb forward with the two fullbacks.
That would be great to see.
Yeah, and it's one-touch passing all the way from back to front. So there's going to be a lot of training, a lot of coaching going on.
Who are scared to touch the ball, like they get the ball, like, oh, I need to get rid of it. It's about to get detonating my hand on my foot. I don't know, but hey, Kay, this United team now with this Amarin's new philosophy and his style of play, do we have enough players? I mean, good enough to implement onto them?
Yeah, there's good enough players. It's just the problem is just trying to get their confidence up. You've seen it with Rude already. The amount of time we've played a few one-touch passes between Bruno, Rashford, and a few of the other players. We never saw that with Ten Hag. The ball was too slow. On the Ten Hag, it was like, go to this person, go to that person, take your time on the ball.
Yeah.
There was no tempo. You're seeing with Rude in 2 games, we're moving the ball quicker. You're seeing overlapping runs. You see more movement off the ball. With Ten Hag, the movement was too slow, and the tempo of the game was too slow. So it was easy to play against.
Yeah.
So for me, a competent coach that plays attacking football and moves the ball quicker will get that. And if he's going to play with fullbacks that overlap, that's what's killing our wide players. We're expecting our inside forwards to beat a man, beat another man, but we thrive on the overlap. That's what Man United have always done. So if we're going to do that, they can always cut it back. It's just. Yeah, I think the players are good enough. It's just who's going to get our goals. That's the main worry for me.
Ken, you think these guys are open enough to be implemented that new system that he's going to implement on them? You think they're smart enough?
I'm hoping to see the same effect that Klopp had when he first came to Liverpool, where he quickly established a style of play. But it was clear that the players were not good enough to.
And he started shipping them out one after the other.
Yeah. So that way we know that, okay. And one of the interesting things that I've noted from this
Klopp.
signing is the fact that Amorim, he's a head coach. He's a
So
head coach.
yes,
He's not a
what is
manager.
the
That
difference
is a big,
between what's
yeah.
the difference? I was going to come to
So
that. What is the difference?
So the
Is there a
manager has
difference?
full control over everything, or
Full
more or less
control.
has a say in everything. Whether
Right.
some elements of majority of the say on transfers and what players come in. That's why we could
Right.
get the likes of Anthony and Casemiro, because the manager
So
was
as
what
a
I
head
wanted.
coach, what is just streamlined
Uh,
to
Focus on the team. Yeah.
A manager runs the club. A head coach focuses on
Yeah.
the football and what
Yeah.
they do on the field.
Ah,
Manager
so you
runs
can-
the entire club.
right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So
All
I
right.
think
Go on.
that's it. So I think the players, let's see what he can do in a
With these
3-4-3.
bunch
Let's
of
just.
players.
I'm just trying to picture Lenny Euro back fully fit. Not maybe not against Ipswich, but in future where you have Euro, De Ligt, and Martinez as the back three, maybe, and that will help Dallo, because Dallo naturally defensively is not that great, but going forward he can do something.
Yeah.
The left back is something that Mazraoui can do. We saw today Mazraoui was fantastic.
No, he was on fire.
He was amazing at left back.
So where
so he
does
can
Luke
do
Shaw
that.
fit into all of this?
Luke Shaw's done. He's he's done. He's done. Yeah, you know.
Okay.
So I want to see
right.
2 strikers as well. There's these 3. I know Amorim plays 3, but like 3 or 4. Sorry, but like Vim alluded to, he has the flexibility to move things up as well. Like you said, the 4-2-2-2. In some games we'll have to play 2 strikers, because having 1 striker is not beneficial at all. If you look at Man United when we were successful, we had 2 strikers. To have yeah, exactly. To play 1 striker, to play 1 striker, your wingers have to be solid. You need to have what's the Real Madrid guy that almost won the Ballon d'Or? What's his name again? The Vinicius. Yeah,
Vinicius.
To have a Vinicius, you need to have someone like a Kingsley Coman. And then you need to have someone like a Lewandowski up front. That's how you're going to get the best of a 4-3-3. We don't have those wingers. Garnacho is not ready to start week in, week out, in my opinion. Rashford is pants. So that leaves Rasmus Højlund, who's not as good anyway. So where are the goals going to come from? So sometimes we want to see 2 strikers. Can we have Xerxes and Højlund for now up front? See how it works. Let's just try different things with the players. Yeah.
All right, Richard. So with what you know the players we have, can they adapt to this new guy's philosophy of his style of play? Are they smart enough to comprehend? Okay, bro. Yes, you've been playing like this. This is how we're gonna do it. Can they do it? Because sometimes these managers come with these nice, beautiful European football styles, but these players still can't implement, bro.
Nah, I think the defenders can definitely, like Martinez, De Ligt, Euro when he comes back. That this system is suited for them. I think Maserari as well, playing as a
so the defenders will be able to adapt. So it's the guys up front.
The defenders, but it's the attack that I'm worried about. So people like Garnacho, even Rashford, you know, I think one of our main problems is decision making. You know, in the final third, we don't know when to cross. We don't know when to pass the ball accurately. We don't have a clue. There's no none of the attackers are in sync with each other. And Amorim's football requires highly technical footballers. So I think he's just gonna look at what he's got. I think he's gonna try the plays. I think he's gonna give them a chance, but he's gonna eventually come to his own conclusion that he'll need his own attack revamped, because the likes of Rashford, Garnacho. Do you know the thing? What irritates me about Bruno? People think I'm always like criticizing him, but he is capable of keeping it simple. Because when he keeps it simple, he plays all right. Like
for Portugal, he keeps it simple. He doesn't do all this with Portugal.
Yeah. For Portugal, he's disciplined. For midweek,
Man, no, they're just all over
against Ipswich, he was disciplined. But I think with Bruno he just rushes things. He tries to make a pass when the pass isn't even on. And I think with Amorim, he's not going to tolerate that. And he said in the group, it's not going to be lost on him that Sporting, as soon as they got rid of Bruno, the next season they won the league.
Wow.
That's not exactly true, Richard. So basically,
They really-
no, that's not exactly true. So when Amarim was appointed head coach of Sporting, Sporting were selling a lot of high value assets, and
Right.
up to that point, Bruno was their star man, and he was their best player, and that's why they commanded a fairly high fee.
Was he the manager
No,
then?
so Sporting had to raise some cash, and they
Yeah.
sold. They're a selling club. They sell a lot of their star players. Those two midfielders, who are they that went to Fulham? Paulinho, he was Sporting. The other chap who went to oh God, help me out, guys. Who this other
Pedro Porro as well.
Pedro Porro is also Sporting.
Spurs, yeah.
Yeah, they sell a lot of their good
Ugarte,
players.
Yeah.
Ugarte was Sporting. There's another midfielder as well.
Yeah, I'm not disputing.
Anyway, so what happened is that Sporting has to raise cash. They're a selling club, and they sold their highest value asset, who was Bruno Fernandes' time. And as soon as they sold him, Ruben was then appointed head coach. So they actually got to work together, and it's nothing to do with about Bruno Fernandes not allowing Sporting to win. He was their best player, but up until that point, the coaches they had were disastrous.
Yeah,
and
but that's
Bruno was the only thing that was keeping that team alive.
That's not the point I was making. I was basically saying that, yeah, the coaches.
You were saying that it's his fault that they were losing.
No, Sporting. It wasn't his fault that they were losing. I think they were coming third or fourth with him.
They had a really bad coach. If you look at the history of Sporting, they had disastrous coaches up until Ruben Amorim.
When Amorim came in, he totally revamped their style of play.
He was the best coach they had. That's why they haven't won anything for 19 years.
And he's been there how long now? 2 seasons?
5 years.
2019.
Oh, it's been 5 years. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So, and they're about to let him go to Manchester United, who've not won a title.
But they don't want to let him go. They don't want to let him go. That's the thing.
Let me finish this point.
But he's got a release clause.
Vim, let me finish this point. So basically, the following season when Amorim came in, they won the league. But if you look at the Sporting Lisbon fans, a lot of the fans were saying with Bruno, he constantly gave away the ball. He constantly conceded possession, which under Amorim, it wouldn't work. It simply wouldn't work under that type of chaotic football. Amorim, if you look at his teams, they're very structured in how they play. If you look at the number 10s, this guy that have what's he called? Edwards. He plays like on the left side and between the lines, and also
Marcus Edwards.
Yeah. Look at the type of players that Amorim's employed. They're nothing like Bruno. I
think you're going down the wrong path here. Because
let's move that on.
Yeah. Because he needs a disciplined coach. No, Bruno needs a disciplined coach to get the best out of him. He's always given a free role. He's been given a free role since he came to the club.
Gave him
he needs a disciplined role. You said it yourself, and I'm thinking someone else. Just watch.
Do that for Portugal. He doesn't do that.
He's disciplined for Portugal.
He doesn't.
You've got to take out this cognitive bias.
He doesn't do it as much for Portugal, but he's done it. He does it.
You have a disciplined coach. You changed the way you play.
Is not as wasteful.
Is Bruno so wasteful? Capable of doing it? Is Bruno age 30 capable of doing this at United? For Portugal, it's different. He's got different players around.
Hopefully, your negative opinion will change of him, Richard. He was our best players when he arrived.
Yeah,
he was the best player.
He said that Bruno played well midweek.
Player of the season.
But at the end of the day, I've seen Bruno. He's too inconsistent.
He is.
Lack of discipline. Lack of discipline.
Bruno.
If you go on the pitch and do whatever you want to do, and no one tells you off for giving the ball away, because you are the creative hub of that team, and he is the most creative player of our club. Every single season has been there. The stats show it all. He's the most creative player. Everyone gives him a free role.
He's like Pogba because he's the best player. He has the license and he tries too hard sometimes because the team's so bad. If he's in a well-structured team, he doesn't need to do those things. The problem is he has to try the extravagant things because it's like, these players ain't good enough to do what I want them to do.
The pressure's almost on him to create something for the team because no one else can do it. No one else can do it.
Pogba had Matic and who was the other guy beside Matic?
He was with Fellaini for most of the team.
Oh God Almighty! I don't know how Pogba managed it, but those two guys were two turtles, handicapped turtle and a crippled turtle.
Simple. That's all I want from him. I don't want anything else. I don't want these hero balls. If he keeps it simple, he can stay. If not, he can go with the rest of them.
Okay,
You've
let's move
seen
on.
you've seen some of his deft touches. I mean, still the stuff he's created this season. I
Who,
know he gives the
Bruno?
ball away. Yeah, you've seen some of his deft touches. How many assists has he got already? Even prior to Ten Hag getting sacked. Yeah, you know that glaring miss that Dalot made last week when he was
made the
on
pass.
goal.
Yeah, he
Who
made
made
that
the
pass.
pass for that?
It was Bruno.
It's only Bruno that does that type of
The
pass.
best I saw Bruno was that
And
back heel
yeah.
he made to Hoyland.
Yeah,
Hoyland.
see?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what he
could
does.
do that. He could do those simple, but
Yeah.
it's the long passes he
But
does.
they're not
that I like.
simple. They're not simple
They're not
though.
simple. They're not
That
simple.
deft touch that he left
Yeah,
laid
they're
on
not
for
simple.
Rasmus
He
is not
makes it
something
look
everyone
simple.
can do. Not everyone
he
can
makes
do
it
that.
look simple.
Okay.
He makes it
Yeah.
look
Right.
simple.
Another question they want me to ask you guys. Do you think Ruud van Nistelrooy is going to be part of Amorim's team?
I hope
Let me
so.
start with Kay. Would
But I'm
Amorim, do you
hearing that
think
he's
Amorim's going to
bringing-
retain Ruud van Nistelrooy?
I'm hearing that Amorim's bringing all his stuff over. Well, he's bringing a lot of his stuff over, so I don't know who he's bringing, but apparently whenever he's moved, he's brought his stuff with him. So, from what Ruud was saying, is like he wants to try and help Man United, but he was almost being political, like because they're asking him. Scholes, I was watching on Premier Sport. Scholes was saying, "I see him as a manager," asking him, "Do you still want to manage?" So, I don't think he'll be there. I don't think he's going to be there long, Ruud, unfortunately.
Right. Richard, did you see Ruud van Nistelrooy being part of Amorim's team or no?
No, I don't think so. I
Do you
think
want him to be
Amorim-
part of it? Do you think he should be?
I'm 50-50. Like I do like Van Nistelrooy as a player, but part of me just thinks maybe we should just move completely on with the new United instead.
But he can help Amorim settle in and
maybe as a striker. Yeah,
as a striking coach or something. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe as a striking coach, but I don't think as an assistant manager. Let Amorim pick who he wants, and if he picks Van Nistelrooy, so be it. But maybe as a striking coach, nothing more, nothing less.
Right.
Yeah.
Mr. Fortress, your take. Do you think Ruud van Nistelrooy should be kept, or do you think he will be an asset to Amorim, considering he knows
I'll have
the
to
culture?
agree with the guys. I'd say, striking coach. Yeah, definitely, but not someone that can influence the starting lineup or influence the tactics or system that we play. We've had enough of this sentiment. Ex-United players coming in, and if he's great at what he does, which is scoring goals, let's put him in that department. What we don't want is someone that will come in and go, because I'm fist pumping and jumping up and high-fiving the crowd and showing passion, as they say, let's make him the assistant coach. No, that's just sentimental. We don't want that. We want people that will come, and Amorim needs someone or people that he trusts, that can tell him, look, dude, what you're doing, it's not going to work. We don't want someone that will go, oh, let's just play counter-attack because this is Man United. This is how we do it, the United way. We don't want United way nonsense. If it means that we change our philosophy, because I think managers have come to United, right, and they've gone, like previous people. I think people have been telling them, oh, Man United are always bombing on fullbacks, attacking, all that nonsense. Oh, yeah, this is our man. And they'll go, oh, right, okay, so let's try to do that. Then that's what the fans want to see. If it takes us to playing football like, I don't know, another team completely that we haven't seen before, let's change our identity. I'm more than happy to see.
But
United...
is that what Ineos want? Didn't Ineos say they want a manager who can adapt? Jason Wilcox, they all say there's a system they want United managers to adapt.
But I can guarantee it's not. It won't be counter-attacking though, because I think everyone that's worked with United or worked with Fergie, Van Nistelrooy included, will want to see that counter-attacking style. That's what's killing us, because managers have come and I think they've fallen into that trap of counter-attacking football. Let's soak up pressure and hit teams at the break. So if Amorim needs his team to change the way we play completely, that will make us to be more possession-based. I think that's where football is going. United fans need to realize that Fergie's not there anymore. Let's go back into possession-based football, where you come. We want to go to games and know that, this is a three-pointer, right? It's not a game that we go, what's going to happen here today? Core, we don't know we want to go to games knowing that, yes, we're going to dominate possession and we're going to nick a goal. One more thing I need to mention quickly because of time is the fact that Bruno treats the ball like a grenade. Have you noticed that it's not just Bruno doing it now? Have you seen Casemiro lately? Casemiro, as soon as he gets the ball,
True.
even
And the
Ugarte is
passes he
doing the
makes, they
same
never
thing now.
connect.
Yeah, even Ugarte is doing this. He gets the ball. Everyone just wants to go long. I'm like, get the ball and just put 3-4 passes. Then, obviously, if someone's way free on the right, then do it. But everyone
Who
just
made the
seems
pass
to.
to Højlund today? That Højlund got tripped. Who made that pass? That was a very
Wasn't
good
it
pass.
Bruno?
The Bruno
I think it was
Casemiro.
Bruno, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, no,
Bruno.
it was Casemiro. It was Casemiro.
Casemiro. That was a very good pass.
Casemiro's got that in his locker though. To play
Yeah,
long
he
ball.
does. So is he? Anyway, Bim. So is Bruno Lannister going to be? You think he should be in the setup, or just cut him off completely?
Look, so I think Ruben's got a really tough job, right? Not only is he coming into the toughest league and he's stepping up the league, he's coming into a team where players down tools, and they've done it, and they've thrown managers under the bus. You know, we've seen it. They definitely down tools. Now, if the players are responding well to Ruud now, then Amra's going to need all the help he can get, and I think Ruud can help him. Because if the players like Ruud, and Ruud, apparently he gave a speech before the Leicester game about what it means to play for United, how much, he gets out of this club by representing his club. He wants to help the club. He shows that he cares, yeah, and the crowd loves him, and he's got a name, as we all know, and he kind of imparts that what's the word, that sentiment of what it means to play for the club.
Yeah.
So if the players respond to him, and I've seen the players respond to him, then he could definitely be an ally for Ruben. As long as Ruben and Ruud don't clash, they've got to make sure they have a setup that's going to work. They've got to complement each other to make that formidable team. So if they can, if they can find a way to work together, and obviously Ruben is the head coach, and his what he says goes, and Ruud's got to help get the team morale, keep the team morale high, and get the players playing, as a team, playing for the coach, playing for that team. Right. And I think if they find a way to work together, I think it would be a valuable asset to keep. But they've got to figure out what are the roles, what's he going to do, and make sure we don't step on each other's feet.
Right,
that's the most important thing.
But what if Ruud wants to take Amorim's job long term though? Like what? Because
I think it's too big for him. I think it's too green. He's had one season.
He might harbor those ambitions, like he might just be waiting in the background to take over Amorim's job. Do you really want somebody
who tried to sabotage? What tried to sabotage Amorim, but he failed so he could come in.
if that happens, then he can't stay. And I think he knows that, he cannot be there to sabotage his head coach. Right. He's only got 1 year experience. He might have a lucky 3 or 4 games, or a good 3 or 4 games now, but he's we see what happened to Ole. Ole has a run of 17 games, and then he's an absolute disaster as head coach. I don't want the same to happen to Ruud. I think Ruben is more proven. Even though it's a lower league, it's more proven. Right. And if Ruud wants to go as a head coach somewhere, I think he needs to go to another club.
But isn't this Ten Hag again? Ten Hag was proven in Holland. He had won the league title a couple of times. You know what I mean?
The key thing is communication.
No, but the big thing with
Ruben is a good communicator.
Ten Hag came in as a manager. He didn't come in as a head coach.
Right.
Ten Hag would have to organize the strategies of the club, the pre-season, everything within the club was. Amron's just going to be focused on the performance of the players. That's it.
Okay.
And so what's that down to? The change of
delegation.
Roles. It's down to the ownership.
But that's the way football's going now. Chelsea have done the same.
Ineos.
But football managers, they're not going to exist soon because clubs are growing too big. So they've got too much stuff to. Like where Man United were when Ferguson was to where they are now, we're a lot bigger. We're not as successful, but there's a lot more. Think about it, social media and stuff like that. There's more engagement. There's more press.
Ferguson managed everything, the reserves, the main team, everything.
He built that up himself. It wasn't by choice. He just fell into it and managed to delegate it all. No, football managers can't do that. To try and manage a big football team now, like it's too stressful.
Where success is really required, you know.
You've got to delegate and get the best in class in every
So
position.
if he takes over,
Who Almiron?
Amrin takes over. What are your expectations now? I mean, at the time he takes over, we would have been in game 12 or game 13.
What, to where we finish in the season?
Yeah. Let me start with Richard. With Amrin coming in, we will hopefully we get 3 points next week and move up from 13 to say 12 or 11. If Amrin now takes over from the Ipswich game, what are your expectations from him for the whole season?
I want to see a better style of football first and foremost.
Okay.
If we can get top 6, fine. Top 4 is going to be a push. Obviously, that's
what about trophy?
Yeah, the Europa League. I think we should go for that. You know, there's not
top 6 and a Carabao Cup.
That's good, but I would ideally like to get in the Champions League. You know, that's what we want to as a club. So if we can get Europa League, great. If we can get Carabao Cup, it's a bonus. But the Europa League is ideal, you know. But going back to your point about the difference between Ten Hag and Amorim, you know, Ten Hag gave it some plaudits. There were some warnings, though. People did say that he was
Ajax, a top team.
People at Ajax were also the fans and the people inside, you know, Ajax. The people close to Ajax were also saying that Ten Hag can be very rigid, very stubborn. These things were already coming out about his personality at Ajax. You know, so we've not really heard anything of the sort from Amorim. So in terms of communication and character traits, I think we're getting a better person in Amorim straight away.
Like Vim was saying, he seems to be more of a player person. He's more interpersonal with the players than
personality.
Like Ten Hag was. Like till Richard and Vim came on, I didn't even know Ten Hag banished Ronaldo from the dressing room at one point. I never knew that.
Ten Hag was like a software program that had gone wrong.
Sure, even Spurs, they rejected him, didn't they, because of his personality?
Right. So you know, it is where we are. So Richard has said his expectations. Vim, what are you expecting from Amrin now? It's going to take about in 2-3 weeks when we play Ipswich till the end of the season. What would you expect from him?
I expect him to figure out his squad. Right. He needs to figure out what players are good at, what players are bad at, and he needs to figure out a system or get them to fit into the system where they are going to excel. And I think he's going to try different permutations. He's going to try different players in different positions to figure out what's going to work best. You know, he needs to understand that, you know, the system that we've been deploying up to now, certain players can do certain things, but some need to be switched out. You know, inverted wingers probably. I don't think he uses that system. I don't actually know. Actually, I need to find out if he uses inverted wingers. Right. I know he uses a back three, but then he has one in front of that back three that can also sweep up. And then he adopts his 4-2-2 column. So he needs to figure out when they create the space, he needs fast players at the front. So I think Rashford might have a role as long as he's committed to the project. And I think Rasmus will also have a role. I really don't see where Joshua Zirkzee is going to fit in, though. I hope that he does find a role for him, but I just don't know where it's going to be. And in terms of the two that sit in front of the three in the back, I think it's going to be a Garnacho.
Don't forget, we still have the Mason Mounts, the Luke Shaws are still in the club.
So he likes players that are good at one-touch football. And I think Mason Mount can do that, right? I think he's capable of playing one-touch football.
I don't see him enough to know what he does anymore.
But from what I remember in his Chelsea days,
he's good at that.
He's good at one-touch football. So I think once he gets the players back up to speed and fit again, and not overworking them and causing an injury, I think he's gonna find his best 11 with what we currently have. And wherever he's deficient, he's gonna go and tell Ineos, this is what I need. This is the player profile I need. Go and take this to your data scientist. Go find me the player.
Achieve. Trophy-wise, finish-wise, where do you want?
I don't know. I don't want to put pressure on him because I think, with the season he's got left over, I don't think he should be given a target of saying you need to go and get top 4. We've left him in an awful place in 14th.
Well, he's picking the team up on game 12. He's got 26
Yeah,
matches
but
to
we've
play.
left him in 14th place. And we've left him with a team devoid of confidence. So I think we've got to give him this season to figure out what he needs for next season to rebuild. And I think he will go out and do his best. But
So you're
there's going to be
this
dead
season's
wood.
written off?
No, I'm not saying it's written off. I think he needs a little bit of time to figure out how he's going to get the best out of the current squad. And he will know by the end of the season who is dead wood. Actually, he'll probably know before that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ken, what do you want? What are you expecting from? Yes, the play. He's going to change the pattern of play. Fine. In terms of achievement-wise, what can he get us? Where do you want him to get us?
Yeah,
He
so
has 26 games in the league.
Yeah, a couple of things for me. The first one is a clear style of play. We need to by, I'd say week or match day, his match day 10, we should at least see what he's trying to do after 10 Premier League games.
Okay,
That needs to be there.
Week 22.
Yeah. So the second thing is player improvement. He has a knack of improving players. The guy, he's striker now, I can't remember, I don't know how to say his name.
Gyökeres.
Yeah, he was at Coventry reject, and now he's turned him into a 100 million euro striker.
Wow.
Can he do the same? Yeah, that's the buyout clause.
Coventry might be thinking, what did we do wrong here?
Exactly. So that's what we need to see from Rasmus, from Højlund. We want to see Højlund at least looking
25 goal a season minimum.
Maybe not 25, but at least looking dangerous in front of goal.
Yeah.
I want to see players improving. I want to see maybe not Rashford, but other players, Ugarte as well coming in. I want to see that Ugarte that was at Sporting Lisbon that terrorized Arsenal in the Europa League. Those are that type of things that we want to see happen.
Okay.
But I still think from a position perspective, I still think top 4 is achievable. We're only 6 points away. I know it's based on what we're seeing now with the players, but if he comes in, and don't forget, he has a reputation for changing things quite quickly, we can go on a run. Villa lost today. Chelsea drew.
Man City got beaten on Sunday.
Arsenal lost. So there's still. I know it's a slim chance, but we're still within the mix.
Right.
6 points is nothing.
So is there a trophy along this line somewhere?
This season I'll just take Champions League. I don't really mind if we can get FA
no
Cup.
No Carabao Cup, no FA Cup, none of that.
I think that's a cherry on the cake, to be honest. For me, a clear style of playing Champions League is probably more important. I know it's only because we've gone through trophies and we've seen the next season we've just capitulated. So let's just get a clear style. The trophies will come. If we can get a clear style of play and finish in the top 4 or win the Europa League, maybe win the Europa League and make Champions League that way.
Right. All right. That seems good. Someone said I should ask you this question, and it's a stupid question. Are Liverpool going to win the league title? Let me start with Richard. With the new manager.
It's possible. I'm not going to rule him out, unfortunately. I don't want him to, obviously.
I know you're a United fan. That's hard to swallow. First season. The first season. That'd be great.
I'll be honest. It's not going to surprise me if they win it, because City aren't looking too strong this year. But then again, City after Christmas can go on their usual run and then lift a trophy by the end of the season. But I think players might be a bit distracted by the fact that Pep is leaving at the end of the season. That might be having an impact on them, but Liverpool look good. They look very good.
Okay. Liverpool winning this league title this season. His first season. And what's his name? Slot? What his name is?
I think they'll come close. I think they'll fall short. The squad depth.
They got good squad depth. They're good. They seem to have a lot.
It's not a stronger season. Once you got Champions League and the other cup competitions. If Salah gets injured,
they're
a different team. You got to remember, City have lost their best player, Rodri. If Liverpool lose Salah, look what happened last season. Salah was in and out of the team; they were struggling, but they'll come close second. But I think City.
So you don't see them winning the title?
Nah.
Is this your Man United bias there a little bit?
No, it's just for a manager to come into the Premier League and win it straight away.
Exactly. That
Who's
is it.
the last
He might be
manager
the
to do that?
first.
Who was the last manager to do that?
In Chelsea, Mourinho,
But
205.
they came second the season before, didn't they, with Ranieri? They were close.
Leicester. Was that Ranieri's first season when he won it with Leicester? Was that his first
Ranieri,
season?
yeah, Ranieri. No,
No,
I think he
Mourinho
took
did it
over.
05 with Chelsea.
Yeah, but I'm saying
Season.
Ranieri took them. They went from nowhere near the title to
Yeah.
second.
Right.
Like he's left them in a good. They've got a good squad, but I can't see him coming in and just going for. Although their defense, I think they've conceded the least amount of goals, but City will buy, won't they? We know City are going to buy in January if they need
Arsenal
to.
falling short. I still want Arsenal to win the title.
They've got injuries in it. Odegaard's their main player. Once Odegaard's back, they'll be back. They'll be fine.
Hmm.
But for me, I
Vim.
think for us, I think like Ken said, top 4, that'll be an amazing season after where we've started.
Right.
But top 5, top 6, I think that's
Top 6 with a trophy will work, right?
I'm
You'll
not even
take
bothered
that.
about a trophy. Like play the kids, play the squad players in the cups. We need to just start focusing on trying to get back into the top 4. I think too many fans have been like, yeah, trophy every season, all this, oh, we're better than Arsenal, they haven't won. I don't want a trophy to be finishing 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th. We need to be going to the top 4, then building on that and trying to start going for the title. That's what Arsenal started doing. Arsenal were just winning FA Cups every couple of seasons, finishing 8th, and then bam, 2 seasons in a row they finished second. And they've stopped trying to go and win the trophies.
Yes,
like
I noticed.
You look at City and Arsenal and Liverpool, they rotate their players heavily in the cup competitions.
Yeah.
Whereas United are like, oh, we're not going to win the league, so we'll just play our strongest team in the cups. And it shouldn't be like that.
Okay, thank you. Vim, Liverpool winning the title?
I hope not.
Same here, mate. I hope not.
Yeah.
But they look like the trendsetters at the moment. They seem to be flawless. Coming from when I saw Brighton leading 1-0, I said, okay, come on, Brighton. I flicked back like, oh, flipping heck. But they are good. They are good. They don't get knocked down.
Yeah. I do think though City
first season, the manager's first season in Premier League.
Yeah. I mean, that would be an amazing new manager bounce, right? Go and win it in the first season. But I think City has got a deeper squad that, you know, they can shuffle their squad quite a lot. Players playing different positions, they rotate heavily and they can be still quite dominant. And City always are stronger after Christmas.
Right.
They just went on this massive run last season and just knocked out everyone.
Yep.
So yeah, look, if we have to choose the lesser of two evils, it's going to be City for me.
Bloody hell.
Yeah.
I think Arsenal anytime, mate. And then any of them too. Arsenal.
I think
anytime.
I think with Arsenal, you know, when you go up against City, and this happened to Liverpool before, 2 seasons they go at it. And I think this is when Klopp felt burnout and his players felt burnout. They really go at it with City, toe to toe. City win it, and they tired after 2 seasons. Arsenal have been doing the same for 2 seasons. They've gone at it toe to toe with City, and then they've tired. They've fallen away. I think they're a little bit burnt out. They haven't got squad depth. Like most clubs go 2 seasons against Pep City, and then they burn out. So I think it could be us next season. Who knows?
That'd be nice. Mr. Fortress. City, Liverpool winning the title this season? Can't see it. They look the favourites.
Yeah, it can happen, but I don't think it will. If you look at what's happening at Liverpool now, there's a lot of players out of contracts. So Salah is on Nandra loan. I don't know what he's on, but he's looking for a contract, isn't he? Because Liverpool will only offer a 1-year contract.
Really?
He wants a 2-year. Yeah. He wants a 2-year contract.
They need to get it together.
So he's banging in goals left, right, and centre. So Liverpool have no option but to give him that 2-year contract. So that's what's going on. Van Dijk's the same as well. You know, Van Dijk's like, you know, I'm thinking about it. I don't know if I'm going to leave. So they're all playing for new contracts, which can be dangerous. However, this guy has not, this Anna Slot guy, He still has. There's a lot of games to. I mean, they're only 2 points
Yeah,
clear. They
yeah.
still need to. Have they
It's
played
the way
City
they've
yet?
been coming from behind to win. That's what I'm saying. The resilience.
Yeah, no, they've got that for sure. But I think they're just not. I think they'll top four. Yeah, definitely top four.
Top
But
four, or
I don't
not win
think.
the title.
Yeah, I don't think they will. I don't think they'll be able to
Okay.
do it.
When I injury time, question time, injury time. Who's got questions? Let's go.
It's just this whole fascination with Ruben Amorim, and I know Kenny, you were talking about this guy
Mm.
pretty much before anyone else. But did anyone know him what it was like as a player?
Was he a
Yeah,
player? Was he an ex-player?
he had 14 caps for Portugal,
It's
and
so
his
good, isn't it?
his team
89.
his team that he supports growing up as a child was Benfica, and he played for all the big clubs in Portugal. He wasn't the most gifted player, but he had a lot of his previous coaches says that he's extremely intelligent on the pitch, and he's extremely aggressive as well. But he had a really quick and early tactical understanding of the game more than others. But he wasn't the most gifted, and it kind of sounds like he's almost like a Mourinho. And I don't know. I don't think Mourinho was a very good player,
Man,
but he had a
Moreno
good tactical
Moreno was
awareness.
never a player. I think he was
I
was
thought
an
he
assistant.
played a little bit.
I don't even think he did that.
You didn't play at a high level. You didn't play
Yeah.
at a high level.
Yeah. Not that.
But so like okay, so question to Kenny first, you, and then the rest of you guys. But what else do you know about Ruben Amorim?
I just remember how I knew him was when I saw him in the Europa League. I think it was the Arsenal, and I was like, "Who's this young guy?" What before that as well, I saw him in a Champions League game, and he just looked apart. You could tell his team was well drilled. Yeah, when they played Spurs as well in the Champions League, especially away from him, and that Marcus Edwards guy was running riot, and I was like, "This to just pick up." And Marcus Edwards is another guy that was rejected in England. So we've talked about the striker. So you can see the pattern here. He's got this knack of picking up just very similar to what Dortmund do, where they pick up young English guys, develop them, and
Turn them
really
into
turn them into.
superstars.
That's what he does. So I was like, this guy is actually all right. He won't be bad for us. And as soon as I knew I thought, we were looking for ETH was messing about. I just knew, this guy would be really good.
That's good.
And if you saw that game against Arsenal, how he, Ugarte and the team, how they pressed Arsenal,
Did they
dominated,
did they
and
win that?
Emirates, I think they went through anyway in the tie. They dominated Arsenal, and this is when when Zinchenko and all these guys were running crazy. That was the first. You remember the first season where they just about
Go
missed
to
out on the
Champions League.
title.
Right.
Yeah. So, and I thought this guy's really good, isn't he? Just looking at him and at Arteta, I think he's a much better version of Arteta.
Okay.
So
Richard,
yeah.
your take. Amorim.
Yeah, I've seen him in a few games in Champions League, and he's impressed me every time. There's the game against Spurs that I remember. I just like how he sets his teams up, to play. He always makes sure that the football is entertaining, and that's what I've liked about him. I can't really say that I follow the Portuguese league in great detail, but
No, I don't think anyone does like that.
No.
Yeah, but I haven't seen that since
I do La Liga and Serie A like that, but Portuguese,
Germany as well. But
German,
since he took over Sporting, he's definitely done a good job. He's certainly got them scoring a lot of goals. They hadn't won the league title in 19 years until he took over. So yeah, he's definitely up and coming, and I hope that he can replicate that at United.
Oh. And he dresses well as well. Sometimes
when you say dresses well, what do you mean dresses? As in smart. That's just a smart dresser.
No, it's just the way he looks. Like when you could just tell this is a coach. Like when you see somebody, just tell, he's a football coach. Oh, Ten Hag just looks like an old
nerd.
He's like a
nerd.
He just looks like a football coach.
You guys are just gold hearted. Okay, Amorim quickly.
Yeah, I only really started knowing about him when Liverpool.
Yeah,
Liverpool wanted to get him and he rejected him.
That's same with me.
Yeah, but he's young. He sounds innovative. He did an internship with United when Mourinho was there.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, he did an internship. But he just looks like he's got fresh ideas. He's got personality. He comes across well with the press. And I think that's what you need sometimes. Like Ten Hag he just looked awkward a lot of the times. Look, Ten Hag looks very awkward with the interviews, the questions, and yeah, I just
Trust the
think,
process. Trust the process. It's a
yeah,
process.
I just think he's got the personality. He's going to bring in his team. He's coming in as a head coach, so he's just focusing on the football side of things. So I think he's got a lot more pluses than any managers had previously. So,
Right.
and I think
Right.
he's inherited a good team defensively. You just need
That's a good
to
point.
obviously work on the attack. Like defensively, I
Mhm.
think Euro coming back, De Ligt, Mazzarari. We've got a good
Got a good
core.
foundation at the back.
Yeah.
All right. Any
So
more questions?
I've got a follow-on question onto that as
Okay.
well. So all right, we expected Ten Hag to get sacked earlier, right? Because we saw how disastrous this
Not that
campaign
early.
was.
We didn't see sacked on Monday.
No, I didn't see that because we had a
He's already
show
been
last week,
sacked
and I did
already.
not think he's going to get sacked now because they
Nope.
kept delaying and delaying. However, they announced the sacking on the Monday, and they announced Amrim on the Tuesday. So that means they had already had that in
They spoke
place.
to him in summer. They spoke to him in summer.
Yeah, so
100%.
but they had it in place. So how they managed to get an agreement so quickly? So I think they'd been working on that,
As
and
a
they
backup.
decided when to pull the trigger. So, and also the thing is with Amarim, he has been touted as the best European coach, young coach in the market. So what are your thoughts now about Ineos and the way they've moved just now in removing Ten Hag and getting Amarim lined up straight away?
Yeah,
Who is the
because they
best
didn't give.
coach, best up
Yeah.
and coming coach in
Let
the
me go
market?
first, Viv. Let me go first.
Go for
Like
it.
I was saying in the summer,
Oh, the Ineos
I
fans.
reckon they wanted Tuchel first, and then Amarim was the backup, but they couldn't get either or, and then bringing in Rude was their plan C. So I always said Ten Hag was never going to last the season. So Ten Hag was always like, if we can't get anyone and we're desperate, then we'll have to go with Rude. But I never believed that. Like, I know a lot of, but the problem is a lot of fans were, if we would have sat Ten Hag after he won the FA Cup, do you know how many fans would have been kicking off?
Yes.
A lot of fans
It
would
would
have
look
been
like
making
Van
noise.
Gaal again.
It would have been worse than Van Gaal.
And you said they were writing into the club. Fans were writing to the club to keep Ten Hag.
Yeah, not
Yeah.
even
But
just fans.
after winning the FA
There was-
Cup,
United stands, other fan channels were writing to the club. to
Liverpool
keep him.
fans were writing in to keep him. Chelsea fans writing in to keep him. They're still writing in to keep
But you
him.
know what it is? They did fan polls, and it was like 70% of fans wanted him to stay.
Yeah, to stay.
They beat
Yes.
City, even though we lost
Yes.
14 games. It's like
Yes.
it just
You're
shows
very
you
correct. You're very correct.
the what's it called? The standards were getting dropped so much
Yes,
that it was
yes.
getting slower and slower and slower, and fans were just, oh, he won
You,
the
you
FA
know
Cup
what it
season.
is, Kay? I think fans got to a point where tired of constantly sacking, and the
Yeah, but
players
you've got
are.
to do that. Football's
Yeah,
changed now.
But
Everyone
you
wants
see,
to.
they wanted a situation. Why a lot of fans wanted this guy to succeed so much was all right. Build something and let's go through the
Tim,
hits and
Tim,
punches and still proceed. But he
do you know
had
what
too
it is,
many.
Tim?
He took too many blows. Too many blows.
Do you know what they wanted to do? They wanted the Ferguson fairy tale. Oh, Ferguson almost got sacked, but then he turned
Yeah,
it.
but football's
not like
changed.
that
They don't have the
anymore.
patience anymore.
Football's
Fergie
not
nearly
like
got
that
sacked in
anymore.
89, 90
Look in the
season.
Premier
We
League.
were
Who's the
fighting
longest
relegation.
serving manager now? Who's the longest serving manager now?
I think it's
Pep.
Pep.
Pep, isn't it?
After
It has to be
Who's the
Pep.
longest serving after Pep?
No, but Newcastle,
Uh,
Eddie Howe.
That's
No.
my point. How long
No,
has he
no,
been there?
Arteta now, or
How
Eddie
long has
Howe.
Arteta been there?
Arteta's
About
been
5
there
years.
5 years,
4
5
years.
seasons.
But before that, it's a conveyor belt. So all this long-term manager,
No,
it's not
It
going to
doesn't
exist.
work.
because
not gonna
the owners are less patient.
And
That's
there's
the
too much
problem.
money involved.
Too much money involved.
Too much money involved.
I get it. Alex Ferguson was about to be sacked in 89. These were the days back in the day whereby you guys remember the BT phone directory books whereby you could pull out,
Yeah.
look at the, and you could find the name and address of the. They used to call Fergie's house to speak to the
Is it?
wife and call him and abuse him that he needs to get out of the club. It was that bad. And
Jeez.
and if he did not win the FA Cup that season, he was done. We finished 6th to the bottom that season. It was
Wow.
that bad, bro. We were losing home and every week, home and away. Like it was a joke. Like, did United win this week? No, they don't win that. It was that bad, man. It was that bad.
Wow.
But The rest is history when he won the FA Cup. So people thought, okay, if we didn't stick with Alex, we wouldn't be where we are. So they thought maybe Andy would take Hag.
Fairy tale.
Yeah, well, that doesn't happen nowadays.
No.
Yeah.
It's all about sentiments. That's why I don't want. If Amorim doesn't want Van Nistelrooy, let him go, because United, I think we're all United fans are basically very, very sentimental. Yeah, like
They're
next
like
year
a
will
hero.
be ours.
They're like a hero.
Yeah.
Okay. So like Vim said, and I mean, I don't know. I think Amorim, it's a big job. Portuguese League, Premier League, completely two different things. Man United has so much toxicity there's so many layers of problems. He has to start cutting all of them. He's just cutting through. Then seeing some daylight, get a right team, find the right formula, right team, culture, implement your style of play. But it's not going to be easy. I know. I wish more the best, but
yeah. I think Tuchel. We didn't get Tuchel because Tuchel wanted to be manager.
Yes.
Yeah, I think he wanted to be manager. Transfer policy, but I also think he wanted to be a manager as well. So
not head coach,
in charge of everything, not a head coach. That's why it didn't work. Whereas this guy is. But the question, go on. Sorry, go on.
But you say that at Chelsea, he was meant to be the head coach, and then they changed it and made him the manager. But they started messing about with the transfers, because remember they got rid of Marina, what's her name, and then the Nigerian guy. They started getting rid of all these. They started getting rid of all these people that were
there.
Key figures. Yeah, that was for the success. And then he's like, I can't do all this on my own. And then Bowley was obviously interfering. So yeah, I don't know, man. It just seems like the model that football's going down is head coach, and you're not going to get a long contract. If you do well, then you'll get another one. If you don't, look at all the best teams in Europe. They're changing managers for fun. It's only Ancelotti that's been there a little while.
Yeah, and don't forget, Ancelotti got sacked. Zidane came in, then Ancelotti got rehired again. So the great Ancelotti, he won one Champions League.
Ancelotti's been sacked a lot of times. By the way.
Oh yeah. A lot of Milan, he's been sacked a few times. Didn't he get sacked at Chelsea, or he wasn't sacked at Chelsea?
Yeah, he got sacked at Chelsea.
Chelsea, wasn't he sacked at Everton?
Everton as well, yeah.
He got sacked at
Everton, yeah.
He must be laughing there like, listen, you sacked me, look at me. I won Champions League, so
how did he ever get to Everton? That's crazy.
Exactly. For him to take Everton position, I mean, it must have been really bad, mate. Everton, really? Right. Any last questions before we shut down today?
So, the Richard and Kenny haven't had a chance to answer.
All right,
that last question. Yeah.
What was the question again?
Go on, give them a question.
Ineos.
Yeah, so it's about Ineos, the way they struck when they did, and got the deal over the line pretty quickly in their timing, and also going and getting and sealing the deal with the best manager in European football, best up and coming manager.
My point is that they should have done this earlier. The reason why they were in this mess is because they didn't sack Ten Hag after the FA Cup. And granted, some people might say, but Barada and what's his name, Ashcroft, they weren't working, but surely they would have been in communication with them during that period. So yeah, they were the ones who messed it up prior to them actually firing Ten Hag in October.
But what if the person they wanted wasn't available back in the summer?
Yeah, they don't want to come.
We have to bear that in mind, right? Because we don't know. They obviously went out to the market saying we want a new manager, and it was really undermining Ten Hag. But I don't think they found one. We don't actually know what's happened, but I don't think they actually found one at the time.
Well, let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Let me ask you a question. So, if Ten Hag knew that they were going around looking for managers, don't you think the players in the dressing room would have respected him less? Would have undermined his position, right? Because players know that the owners are going around looking for managers.
Yeah.
Know that he's not good enough. So that must have.
Well, I think that's when they'd known they want to get rid of him. And even Ten Hag's friends were telling him, you should just quit. You know, your position is untenable. You should just quit. But he just did not.
He's a very proud man.
He did not compute. Yeah, he didn't get the algorithm didn't compute. He should have walked in. But you know, he's £7.5 million richer now. But
Yeah.
I mean, thoughts. Look, we haven't messed around like with Glazer.
Yeah.
Just get any Humpty
Yeah,
Dumpty
but
in.
which
No,
was
the
good
yeah.
though.
best.
To
It
be
was good
We've
honest,
got the
though.
to be
manager
honest,
that Liverpool and Man City wanted,
yeah.
and
No,
Barcelona.
we,
you
you know,
you've got to
apparently
give credit where it's due. To be honest,
Barada is instrumental in this, by the way,
Yeah, the next
Yeah.
getting
day
in Amorim.
after the sack.
Because normally when a manager gets sacked, we have a whole 2 weeks of
Oh,
speculations, odds, and this.
mm,
They just went. So the press didn't even have time to like, is it going to be
mm,
Potter? Is it going to be Southgate? Is it going to be this? They just like, oh, Amarin,
I,
next.
mm.
I also think that's a smokescreen. I think they just put this out. Oh, we're going to go for Southgate, almost like an
Yeah,
illusion,
100%.
like an illusion.
Distraction.
You know,
That would not
distraction.
work.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
So I don't think
Ken,
Ineos have been that bad. I don't know what you think, Richard and Ken, but I think they've done a masterstroke now to get Amarin at this stage
quick.
quickly.
Very
You know,
Ken, what was
I
your
know
take from Vim's
Yeah,
question?
I mean, yeah, you have to give credit where it's due. The way they acted to get Amarin,
Very quick.
it's very.
He
That's
was sacked on Monday, mate.
this is Real Madrid
And there was
level.
no leak.
You know,
There was no leak.
that's Real Madrid levels. You know,
Yeah.
to be able to do everyone normally what normally happens is a manager gets sacked, it gets talked about for, oh yeah, yes, it was deserved, all the pundits, who do you think's gonna be next manager, blah blah
Mhm.
blah blah blah.
We didn't have time for that.
The press didn't even have the chance to do that, you know, and the fact that they went to Amarim and said, look, you better come now or you miss this opportunity. And they forced his hand and they got the man, you know, they got who they wanted. This is someone that turned down Liverpool, turned down West Ham, turned down a few other clubs.
did he turn down Liverpool, or
I'm
they just
sure
couldn't
he
come
did.
to an agreement?
They said he turned him down.
Wow.
They said he turned down Bayern and Barcelona also today.
So that's a massive coup for us. If he's turned down some of the biggest clubs in the world and he's come to us, then that's great negotiation, right? That's a
Good.
great deal.
Ineos,
That's great deal
good
making.
Ineos move.
You have to
That's a great
give
move.
credit
That's a
where it's
great
due.
deal. Liverpool couldn't get him. City were. He was saying that he's going to be the next Pep, or the guy that takes over from Pep.
Yeah.
Liverpool didn't get him. Bayern didn't get him.
But
Who
then
else did?
Ten Hag was meant to be the guy that's going to take over
Oh,
from Pep
God,
as well.
no.
Remember, Richard, you were saying that if we don't get, we'll go to City.
Wow.
Let's just hope that this is not repeated.
Ten Hag at City. Wow.
I know one day Ten Hag will return to the Premier League. He'll come back. He'll be
Nah,
back in
yeah,
the
I don't
Premier
think it
League.
would. No, not in the league. No,
Yeah,
no
they
way.
get
Not in
played
England.
for the
Not England.
think
His
so?
career
Why
in
not?
England done.
I think he'll
You'll
go
be
to like an
surprised.
Everton.
It could be a Fulham
think
manager.
he'll-
It could be an Everton manager.
He would not come for
Yeah,
one of
yeah,
those.
yeah.
Maybe
Reputation.
Leeds.
No, Tim's right because look, he's won 2 domestic trophies, so some clubs will go.
Yeah, so he knows the English
They can't
football to
afford
a
him.
point.
The
Yeah.
money,
Actually, no.
the money that he'd won, he wouldn't go there. Trust me.
So
I think
other
he
cup
should.
teams might want him.
But what he would do with the players that he's got at United? You think at Everton, they're getting relegated, mate. They're getting relegated. Think, mate. Calvert-Lewin that can't score for nothing.
Right, he might
So,
find
I've
a
got a
way.
question. I've got a
last
question.
Let's go.
Where are the American counterparts?
Yeah,
What
where are
happened
Oh,
to
they-
them? Are they crying about Ten Hag already? What's going
No,
on?
Joe and Bems, they were in the pub with me today. We worked the game together. They were on the Free Wise Men show we did after the game, and Joe did not
what
go
was
off
their
this.
thoughts
He
on the
did not
game?
go off this week. Joe was
What
calm.
were their thoughts on the game, actually?
Huh?
What were their thoughts on the game?
Bem said it's the same shit, different day. He think there's nothing's changed. No, I'll send it to you guys. I'll put it in the chat.
100%.
Watch it. I mean,
I'll
Joe did
watch
not
it,
go
yeah.
off. Joe did not go off as he went up last week. He was calm this week. You know, last week he went off completely, saying Rashford, yeah, you let your mama down, you let your whole family.
Wow.
he was completely mellow this week. And at TikTok, he went viral in TikTok. They were like, oh God, this guy's really doesn't like these players anymore. But his point was, I think on a scale of 1 to 10, he gave them 5.5 for performance today. He still was upset with the finishing. I'll send you the fan chat, the fan reactions in the United road thing today later on. So yeah, he was all right. They went out and said they won't be able to make it today. So yeah, so there's no Americans on.
I thought you were asking about the Glazers, Kenny.
Right. Any last questions? We're going. Right, gentlemen. Thank you very much for coming. I know our clocks have gone back today, so we're back on 6 hours behind you guys. As
Okay.
you guys clocks went back last week, but ours went back this week, this Sunday. So we are 6 hours behind you guys. Thank you guys for coming. Vim, the analyst, thank you for coming on the show. And I thank Mr. Strict Richard, thank you very much. Mr. Fortress, thank you very much. Mr. Smiley, thank you very much, Kay, for coming on today. Man United won, Chelsea won. Wasn't the 3 points we all expected, but we are going in the right direction. So we hope so. I'll see you guys on the glory, glory.
Man
Man
United.
United.
The
Ruben.
next one. Ruben.
Cheers, guys.
Ruben's got a lot of work to do, guys. It's not gonna be easy, bro. It's not gonna be easy. But we wish him all the best and hope these players can conform and capitulate what he needs from them going forward.
Yeah.
You take care, guys. Have a nice one.